Couldn't hardly notice it at all, sung by S.H. Dudley. A maid came in from Orleans. She was a little shy, but she couldn't hardly notice it at all.
Salutations, friends! I hope you're having a fine day. My name is Eveline, and today I'm going to take you on a little, somewhat tutorial on how I made this cute little peasant dress. It took me about a day to make, and let's get into it. The things that I used to make this dress are 3 yards of a lightweight cotton fabric, some thin elastic, some even thinner elastic, some thread to match your fabric, some pre-made bias tape to finish my seams, and 3 yards of lace. Oh, and all the other bits that you'd need for sewing. I started by measuring the length that I wanted simply by holding my measuring tape at my waist and letting it drop to my mid-calf, and taking that number to figure out where I needed to cut my fabric. Then I cut out 2 rectangular panels measuring the length that I wanted by 30 inches, making my waistline a total of 60 inches. Next, I measured my bust at the widest point, cut that measurement in half, and added 2 inches. I measured that out on my leftover fabric and started marking out a sort of shirt-like shape, starting with the back neckline, then the front. Then I measured roughly from my shoulder to my armpit and used that to cut little armhole shapes. I should have disclaimed at the beginning that I am not a professional, and the way that I sew is very haphazard and I do a lot of guesstimating. So please don't take any of this as gospel. I'm a very throw a bunch of things in the pot and hope that it's soup kind of gal when it comes to sewing. Moving on, now I'm very roughly cutting out a sleeve shape from the scraps of my bodice fabric. Oh, and pockets. Don't forget pockets. Here you can see all my pieces laid out, and now we gotta start sewing them together. Starting with the pockets and then having my bobbin run out of thread like a goddamn quitter. There, that's much better. Okay, sew the pockets, then the bodice, and the sleeves. And we're gonna flip the pockets inside out and press them flat so we can get some French seams up in here. And we'll do the same for the sides of the bodice, but for the sleeves, we're not gonna have enough allowance for French seams, so we're gonna use that handy dandy bias tape and pin that over the raw edges of the seam to finish them off. Now sew, and we can finally move on to the skirt. First we're gonna pin the pockets about where we think is right, and then we'll pin up the rest of the skirt, and you guessed it, sew that crap together. But wait, don't sew over the pockets because we want to be able to actually use them. So once the seam is finished, go back up to the pocket and slip that thing over the machine and sew carefully around both sides. And then we're going to take that same bias tape again and finish all of the seams that we just sewed the same way we finished the sleeves. Now we're going to prematurely measure the thicker elastic around the smallest point of our waist and just set that aside for a second because before we can use that, we got to gather down the waist of our skirt to the same width as the bottom of our bodice. This doesn't need to be perfect or pretty because this thread is just temporary until we pin down all those gathers to the bodice and sew them down. Okay, now you can take that elastic, sew the ends together, and slip it over the dress so that it sits right on that waist seam. Then you can take that seam allowance and turn that over the elastic so that it is encased in a little tube. Sew it all down, stretching the fabric to its full width as you go so you can still fit the dress over your shoulders. And now you have this. Can you see the vision? This is technically a dress at this point, and not just pieces of a dress. You can finish the sleeve holes and hem the skirt and neckline and be done if you wanted, but in this video, we are far from done. We still gotta add those sleeves on and finish those seams. Oh yes, very nice. A very nice finished seams. Okay, now let's take that thinner elastic and measure about how wide we want our neckline. Then we can roll over our neckline, encasing the elastic as we go, just like we did with the waist, and sew that thing closed, being careful for once to make the neckline look nice. Now we can take that same elastic, measure it around our upper arm, cut 2 of those pieces, tie them each in a knot, and do the same with the sleeves as we just did with the neckline. Finally, fold up and press the hem of the skirt, and sew all along the edge, and there you go, a perfectly good peasant dress. You could totally be done at this point and it would make a super cute little dress, but I thought it was a bit plain, so I just added a bit of lace around the sleeves and the hem, and there you go. so happy with this dress. It came out exactly how I pictured it in my head. It's super comfy, and not only can I wear it now going into the warmer months, but I bet I can layer it with other tops and skirts once it starts cooling down this fall. So it's going to be super versatile in my wardrobe, and I love versatility in clothing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of me, feel free to subscribe. I'm currently uploading every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'd love to have you. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you next Tuesday with another vlog. Thank you for watching, and make sure you wash your hands. Goodbye.
From old Fort Gibson was noted for her